I had a few people ask about my boat, so I thought I'd do a quick video for it. I'll try and keep it short. The back, we got a 15 horsepower Evinrude, 2-stroke, 2-cylinder. Not much to it. It runs. It doesn't troll real nice. It doesn't do low speeds real nice because it kind of loads up, but that's any of these old 2-strokes. My 35 Evinrude on my last boat had the same issue. I've got a 30-pound Minn Kota trolling motor here. I don't think I'm going to keep it there. I think I'm actually going to get a bow mount and put a little tiny deck on the front for that, because when I have this motor tilted up or if I have my anchor light in, it hits stuff, but it's plenty of thrust to move the boat around, so it works for now. It's mounted on some 3D printed stuff I made. My dad actually got this boat and did it as a winter project. One winter he went through the motor a little bit, put flooring in the middle 2 sections there, made sure the trailer was good, hubs, that sort of thing. And then later, the next year, he went through the motor again. We had a little bit of a shifter issue on it, but otherwise it's been pretty good. These old Evinrudes run forever. So kind of go over changes I made, go over the trailer and everything. I put these electronics in the back. It's a Garmin Striker 4. It does GPS plus depth finder, water temperature, speed, voltage, that sort of stuff. I didn't know it had voltage, so down here I've got USB, voltmeter, switches for everything. This bilge pump is automatic or manual. I just plumbed it up here. There are already 2 holes here, so I just reused those holes and made a bracket for it. Shoots water out the back. Cable lock for the motor. Obviously you don't want it falling into the lake or falling into the back of somebody's truck. All that stuff. The trolling motor's got its own plug right here. I actually just used some 10-gauge jumper cables from the farm supply store for that, but all the rest of this electronics goes to this battery box with an SAE plug. There's a deep cycle in there. This is screwed to the floor. That's marine grade plywood, same as the transom there. And then electronics up in the front, they're run through here, which was a trick and a half to do. LED navigation light, and then I've got a ram mount for a floodlight that plugs into this SAE plug, controlled by a switch in the back. Seat, it was the cheapest one that wasn't horrendously ugly. I 3D printed a bracket to hold it from shifting side to side and flipping backwards off the seat, and I also printed right there and right there some little caps for the threads so they don't cut my leg open when I swing around in the seat. Backup motor, it's burrito powered. I do carry 2 nets. This one's a lot easier to get hooks and stuff out of, but that one's bigger. Sometimes you do need 2 or a bigger net. Anchor light is mounted in the back here on some rubber plugs, just goes right in here. I did have some battery powered ones, that's what this hole's from, but I don't like the battery powered ones. I do have these quick cleats everywhere, but I usually only use them when I'm anchoring. I'll probably make another video show you how to tie up a boat, because it's easy and not very many people know how to do it to a post or a cleat. Try and keep the ropes wound up out of the way. It's something I learned from my dad growing up the lakes. They're way easier to access when they're like that, and it doesn't take any time to do it. Keep my tackle box close. I just strap this into the handle so it doesn't fly out while I'm moving. I also use this as a footrest. I'm tall enough I can drive sitting sideways or facing forward. I can put 6 rods underneath those rod straps. Those are just mine. The kids aren't in here now. I have a very optimistic ruler over there, and so far in Minnesota I haven't had to measure past that brace. It's only been, count on one hand the number of times I had to go past that brace in Iowa fishing, but I do go after northerns and muskies quite a bit, hence the giant bucktail there. 2 gas tanks, they're both 6-gallon, they're both strapped down. They don't really move around, but when they're empty they could fly out or move, so that's why I have the strap on there. This is my magnet fishing stuff, which I keep in here now after I dropped my $30 titanium pliers in the lake and couldn't get it back. Almost did, but I couldn't quite reach it with the net and ended up pushing it into the weeds and couldn't find it again, so maybe next year. It's marked on the GPS. In here I've got spare prop, tools, spark plugs, cotter pins. I don't have a spare castle nut for the prop yet, but I need one. The ram mounted floodlights in there. I've got fishing regulations, registration, oil in a measuring cup for mixed gas because it takes 50 to 1 pre-mix. I got a 12-pound river anchor here. I think this is a 50-foot rope that I strap up here, and then like I said, I can add 20 feet to that with this front rope if I need to, if I'm anchored somewhere deeper, if it's really windy. Yeah, that's about so far. So up here in the front, I got a life jacket up here all the time because you have to have one per person, so I'm covered. Anybody comes with me, got to grab another one. This big old hook is actually off of a fall protection harness that had to be retired for damage, so I grabbed the hook off of it because it does not come off easy. And what I do with that is I snap it onto this eyelet, take all this stuff off, back up into the water. As soon as the fenders go under, hit the brakes kind of stiffly, boat floats off, I pull forward so I don't have to walk through the water, grab that rope, pull it over to the dock. Nice and slick. Snap hook for the front here, safety cable because you have to. I got snap hooks on the safety chains because my Taurus is so low, regular hooks bounce off sometimes when I'm dragging them. Jack. I put this roller up here just because I wanted more support under the front end because it's a long ways between those two and I don't want to bend the boat there. I'm probably going to change that roller and that roller out to self-centering rollers because of I mean, it's hard to get this boat lined up on, you know, you got a window of about 3 inches, and if you miss it, it's going to gouge the hell out of it on the brackets. So self-centering rollers and my post guidons in the back, it should be just about idiot proof, so I'll almost be okay. The trailer does pivot in the middle. You take that chain off, pull that pin back, it pivots way back there, so I can launch this thing when there's, you know, no ramp, or the ramp is really short, or if it's just shallow forever. I don't want to back the car into the lake. That's how I do it. I did put roller bunks on instead of carpeted bunks, so when I'm standing on the front of the trailer here, I can brace myself on the jack stand there, or the winch stand there, with one hand and pull the boat around with the other because it's real light. No bearing buddies. I've never had these fail. I've had bearing buddies fail on road trailers, on boat trailers. I think they're garbage. Regular hubs, the way to go. For the time and cost of putting mud flaps on a boat trailer, it's worth it if you have any sort of rock parking lot or gravel roads to get to your lakes, because since I've put these on my trailers, this and utility trailers, I've never broken a tail light. I've broken plenty of tail lights when I've not had those on, so I think they're worth it. Looks a little odd on a boat trailer. I think it's totally worth it, especially because a couple of my lakes take like 6-7 miles of gravel to get to, and those are not heavy duty built. So yeah, tie down strap keeps a boat from becoming a projectile when you hit big bumps or getting crashes. Just look up videos where boats have slid up over top of trucks. Ah, shit. Train coming. I got to finish this up. Last thing, I guess, I've got a Transom Saver because small boat, heavy motor, that bouncing around all the time going down the road is just going to destroy it. So these are not expensive. Put one on your boat. So that's all I've got. I'm going to say goodbye before this train gets here and makes things very loud.